Hello, I'm Jeff from EPAS Performance, and I'm here to present you our C1 electric power steering kit. The kit is composed of our electric motor, our pre-wired control module with the wiring harness, all the couplers required to do the install, and the installation manual. This is one of our more challenging kits to install. It will require knowledge and some tools. Now Jim will show you how to install it.
Hi, my name is Jim. I'm here to show you how to do this install. First order of business, we've got to take the steering wheel off, turn signal assembly out. Next, we'll need to remove the steering column strap underneath the steering column. Moving on, we're going to go underneath the car, remove the lower half of the steering column and pitman arm. Just going to remove the last bolt here, let the steering column lie, and we're going to move to the top side of the car to remove the column. Next, you'll need to remove the hood to make clearance for the steering column to come out. With the steering column removed out of the car, you'll need to make your first cut from this flange, 23¼ inches up the shaft, cut it all the way through, cutting the inside shaft. You'll need to disassemble the whole steering gear, and you'll need to cut 5/8 inches off this lower shaft, and then make a double D. Before reassembly of the lower half steering gear, steering shaft, a 3/8 hole needs to be drilled 1 inch in from the cut end. After assembling the lower half steering gear, we will need to assemble the electric motor with the steering column adapter and a spline adapter to double D. And then we'll have to do the upper half to accommodate the upper half shaft, which gets put in the vehicle later. When you receive the electric motor, these two adapters, the spline and double D adapter and this input shaft, will come with set screws. They need to be removed to be replaced at a later time. First order of assembly, the lower double D spline shaft will need to be placed on and tightened. Next is the steering column adapter. Then we move to the other side of the electric steering motor and assemble the other adapter. We're getting ready to reassemble the lower half steering gear. First, we take our shaft that we just made our double D on, reinsert the bearing, insert it into the steering column, and the back half bearing retainer. We'll have to set preload. Next, we'll need to install the sector shaft. Now we are going to reinstall the steering shaft and steering box. Things are about to get real easy. We're getting ready to install the EPAS electric steering motor into the lower half steering column. Now we're going to install 2 set screws inside the 3/8 hole that we drilled on the bottom side of the steering column. I've reinstalled the turn signal assembly, left it loose. We're going to put the upper half of the steering column into the electric motor adapter. And then tighten the set screws. We're getting ready to install the band clamp on the steering column. Now we are going to install the upper steering shaft into the steering column. Now that we've installed the upper steering shaft into the steering column, there's 2 set screws that are in this opening down here. Before tightening completely, a measurement needs to be taken from the face here to the end of the splines, and that is 1.5 inches. Once we've achieved the 1.5 inches, we need to tighten up the 2 set screws. Now that the turn signal assembly has been reinstalled on the top of the steering column, we need to mount the steering wheel and then move on to the pre-wired wiring harness. Now that we installed the steering column and electric motor, we need to install the module. The module has electric output, which runs to the electric motor. We have battery in, which is going to end up hooking to the terminals on the battery. Signal going to the top of the electric motor, ignition hot, and feedback control. Our control module we mounted behind the center console, free of obstructions, and that suited us just fine. This is a battery wiring harness coming out of a 5/8 inch grommet. We're going to go ahead and hook it up to our battery terminals down here. We're going to go in and turn ignition hot, and we should hear a click from the module. Now that I've made it back to the driver's seat, we're going to give ignition hot and listen for the click. Now we can go cruising. Thank you very much.
Thank you for purchasing our electric power steering kit from EPAS Performance. We hope this video has been helpful for your install, and we hope you enjoy it for many miles to come.